Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D. D, we are back. How are you doing today, man?
We back.
Hey,
we back.
Y'all already know what time it is. Superman and Lois, season 2, man. It feels like it's been an eternity, but like D always says, when they take a break, they come back hitting hard. It's just like when you see those two dogs outside. That means that we are inside upstairs going hard. And that,
Mark is inside going hard.
Yeah, when I say that, I mean we're recording videos for you guys. So yeah, we are reviewing episode 10 of Superman and Lois, and that is Bizarros in Bizarro World. So before we get into today's before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says,
hey man, podcast in the description, like, follow, subscribe to the channel. And when you see that like button and it's playing pool with square balls, you ask it what it's doing. And when it goes to answer, click that button. Click that like button hard.
That's right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this review for Superman and Lois. So when I saw the trailer for this and it showed like everything that was going on in Bizarro World, I got really hyped, but I was disappointed because it said that we weren't going to see another episode until the 26th of this month. It just seems it's been 3 weeks since we last seen the episode of Superman and Lois, and this episode, it was just so good. It felt like I was watching a movie. I love that we finally got to see how everything was in Bizarro World. Now, D, something that I picked up on was because remember in our last review, I had said that I don't really think that it was Bizarro Superman because we know how Bizarro Superman is. We know that like he's an idiot and whatnot. He's the opposite of Superman. And I love how this show, they took a character and they made it their own. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he became the way that he did because he kept on taking
huffing kryptonite.
He kept on huffing kryptonite, and that liquid courage, it was a drug.
I love the transformation.
Yeah, and we saw what happened because he kept on huffing on it. But bro, like to see Jonathan in this world he had the powers instead of JoJo. And you know, I didn't notice this when we did our last review and when the last episode had aired, but I thought it was cool that he was in the Superboy outfit. Like, I thought that was really cool. That was a nice touch. And you know, what was the thing that he was doing?
Something like.
Oh yeah, it's like this, right?
Yeah, the like, fingers in between, but it was something like that.
Yeah, something like this. Like, hey, it's like he was becoming just like his dad, and it's like we see how Superman is in this world. Everybody knows who he is. His name isn't he is Superman, but he goes by his name, Kal-El, you know, and I loved it, man. I loved it. Like, I loved that everybody was the total opposites, and the normal world, you know, they're a loving and caring family. Whereas in this other world, like, they're dysfunctional. JoJo is emo, and you know, Jonathan, he doesn't have a good relationship with his dad because his dad is a big time celebrity. And D, I know you was talking about that. He reminded you of Omni-Man.
Yes, he did. It was just kind of like his lackluster performance as a hero when we saw him. You know, Jonathan had to go and save the person from the building. He was telling Lois. Now he gets to see how it is to be a hero and what I go through and all. It gave me very Omni-Man vibes. All he was missing was the cocktail. I mean,
I can see that. And you know, I also loved how the episode, it started off showing you know, Superman from his Earth. And how he met up with Jonathan, and like Jonathan seemed like he was an ally, but then he turned on him. He was just like, "Where's Pendant at?" And it's just crazy. I mean, like Jonathan, he met up with Allie. He was dating the girl, and it's like as soon as she took him to see Allie, I was just like, "Yeah, he's gonna turn on his family," and he did, because unlike on Clark's world, where it's just like he's a caring father and whatnot, on this world he doesn't care what his kids do, you know. And I love that Lois, she was like, you know, I'm just as much as to blame as well, because it's like we weren't good parents to you guys.
Mhm.
Now, what were some of your favorite moments in this bizarro world that we saw?
For one was seeing Talrow and Clark when they were in the bar, and he had the pool. He had the square pool balls. It was just a cool thing.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
'cause
just
the Earth was flat in this world.
It was also square, and it was just, I love their rendition of Bizarro World. You know, it's something we probably got it in some comic books, but never on like a big screen kind of deal. And I thought it was cool to get more backstory on how he became Bizarro. You know, it hasn't been something that's really been out there too often. And it was cool too because they kind of explained the reason why they speak backwards. You know, because when you go to a different world and stuff like that, it's just backwards. And anytime I saw Jonathan, evil Jonathan, dark Jonathan, bizarre Jonathan,
John L.
Whenever they showed him, hey, because he looked super cool in the Superboy get up. I thought it was pretty cool. He had that punk rocker look. And then even more, I love seeing JoJo in his true place. He was the only person who was the same on both worlds.
I wouldn't say all.
I mean, all he had was a little bit more gel in his hair.
Yeah, man, that was emo JoJo. He was shy, and like Jonathan was joking him, and it was just like, yeah, you'll get your powers eventually. You know what I'm saying? And it was just
egg. He was the same in both worlds. He just had more hair gel in his hair.
Well, look, man, I wanted to touch on when you had to mention Talrow. And in this world, it's like Lana, she was working at a bar.
Oh, yep.
And it was set years before when Cal, he told him that they was having a son. They was talking about Jonathan. Well, he just said that they were having a baby. They didn't know that they were having twins. And it was just like, you see Lana, and then Lana in this world, she has powers too. It's like they never really explained how she got the powers. She just had powers. I don't know how.
Maybe it was kind of like that.
Do you think
when she fused with her copy?
Well, no, she wouldn't have fused with her copy.
Maybe it was a suit, or maybe it was the same deal as how they. I think it was personally. It was how they were snatching bodies to begin with. When Talrow showed up and he was putting Kryptonians in bodies.
I mean, that could be the case too. I mean,
because he was still there and his mom was still there, or the fortresses weren't destroyed or anything. So maybe.
And there was a security guard at the Fortress of Solitude. And, I mean, also too, we don't know in this world if I guess that they probably just both came to Earth together, because like he didn't have like a Jonathan or Martha Kent. That's why his name was John L. in the world instead of Jonathan. And then Clark was still Cal. But we ended up seeing Chrissy, and Chrissy, she helped out your boy Anderson. And I'm happy that Anderson like had that wake up call, and he found out that that those were Superman's family. And he was just like, no wonder why you were being so secretive in your world, because it's like you were trying in our world, because you were trying to protect your family and whatnot. And Anderson, he apologized, and he was just like,
very good moment.
Everything I did, like, you're forgiving me. And
Anderson it looked like he got a good send off, because he caught that blow to the chest. It looked like he was out.
Yeah, man. No, it was crazy, man. And then also I wasn't expecting them to take Superman out like that, but then I'm glad that Talrow, he helped out the Superman from the other Earth, because when Cal needed him and his Earth, Tal let him down. And I thought it was interesting. He was just like, nah, I'm not going to let the same thing happen again, because when my brother needed me, and he made that promise, he was just like, you said that if I ever needed anything. And I'm happy that
rough too.
Yeah, man. Like, they took Superman out. Like, I wasn't expecting to see that fight between Lana and Superman either. Like, they were throwing blows, and usually
Superman
when
throwing
you watch
her around too.
Yeah, and usually when you watch shows, you usually don't see, well, not just shows, but like superhero shows, you usually don't see like men and women fighting each other. It's usually women fighting women, or men fighting men, or If a woman does fight a guy, the woman always has the upper hand. But in this, it's like they were throwing blows, and I was like, Jesus.
I think the only example of that, you get a little bit of that kind of stuff in The Boys.
Yeah.
What and you know, we had, you and I know the events that are coming up in Invincible.
Yeah,
we'll get some there, and then probably in Stargirl.
Yeah,
we got some of it.
You don't see that on the Flash, though.
No, you sure don't.
You don't see it.
Imagine that.
But I wanted to go to some of our comments since, we haven't done a review for Superman and Lois in such a long time. First, I want to start off with Kennedy. Hi, Kennedy. Kennedy said, I really enjoyed the beginning scene when Clark was entering the portal. The budget is so unreal. Love that scene. And then he also said, it's all good because remember, last time we did a review, I had said something about Kennedy, but no, the budget on this show, it's amazing. Like I said, watching this episode, it felt like I was watching a movie. It was just really good. D, what's your take on it?
Yeah, first off, I gotta agree. The budget on the show is amazing, and it's always, we've established this, it's always good news when it's coming back because it's gonna be fire. I mean, it's just, and the budget is unreal. I mean, I'm so happy with this show. I mean, if they could cut a couple of their smaller shows and just keep this one the way it is, as long as it's running. Yeah. And another thing too that I really appreciate about the budget in combination with choreographics and just general filming is the way that they shoot their effects for fight scenes is really cool. The way they go in and out and then, have them be thrown back down and then all of a sudden it's really cool. Yeah. Hats off.
And I will say too, one thing that I love about this season over season one is the fights. They don't feel rushed. They don't feel quick. The fights are a lot longer this season compared to season one. Because season one, there will be times where it's like Superman and John Henry, they would be fighting, and then like the fight would be over in the snap of a finger. Whereas in this, it's just like you said. Somebody will punch somebody, like the camera will zoom out because they'll go flying somewhere, then they'll come back, and then you see them throwing hands and whatnot. So it's really good. Now moving to Trey's comment, Trey said, what if Bizarro John actually merged with Earth Prime John and we have a new Jonathan character? We didn't see Earth Prime John appear. He did say Clark was too late. Has the merge started and he was the first to come over? So I mean, we see at the end of the episode that that they haven't merged, but I will say that when we did the review for that episode, I thought that Bizarro John or John L, I did think that he came over to the world to help because that's how they made it look. But then we see at the end of this episode that I came here for one thing. He had the pendant in his hand. He looked at Earth Prime John, and this is something that we've always said that eventually we're gonna get Jonathan versus JoJo, and I always said that maybe JoJo was gonna become evil or something like that, but no. I love that it's John L. that's the evil version of Jonathan. And
Hold up. You can't quite say Jonathan is turned evil. I think JoJo could still go dark if anything happened because that's Jonathan from a different world. That's not even the same. That's not the same. It's not like when we say it, we mean these two between our main two. Yeah. I mean, that's Bizarro John. That's not the same thing as Superman going dark if it's Bizarro. So
yeah, I don't think that it's gonna happen. I mean, I am looking forward to this fight. I am looking forward to we see that Superman, he's rushing back to get to his Earth too, man. And also too, both of the alleys have merged together now. And I was expecting at the end of this episode that next week's episode was going to be the season finale, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like we have a couple more episodes before we get to the season finale.
And that's wonderful. That's what we want.
I could probably see episode 12 or 13 being the final episode. Because remember, for season 1, I think, wasn't it like 5 episodes that got added after they had already did the episodes?
And I remember you giving me the update, but I can't remember how many added on.
Yeah, it was like
and
some
I also
episodes
remember,
got added.
I just remember season 1 was fire. That was
Yeah. Hey, look, I need your boy John Henry to show up too, man. Because hey, look, this is an all hands on deck type of mission. They need all the help that they can get. So let me read the next comment, and it is from Kevin Jones. You know, your boy Kevin. So this is a long one. So D, buckle up because I'm about to take you for a ride.
You know how I do.
So let's see. Kevin says, as soon as Superman went inside the portal, all I could think was Clark did not think this through, did he? It was interesting seeing the world wonder where Superman was and how they deal without him. Plus, we get to see Jordan. Oh, I combine both names, Jordan. Jordan and John Henry do their hero thing. I really feel for Natalie dealing with her mother's death while a version of her is still alive, and John Henry forgetting his wife's death. Yeah, not a good day for them. And I mean, like, I understand that. I mean, I can understand like why she felt the way that she did, and you know, your boy John Henry is just like, you know, I deal with it, but it's like I'm moving on from that because he already went through all of that when he first came to Earth Prime, you know, and Natalie, she's still a child, so it's not as easy for her to move on as it is for her dad, which has moved on. He said this whole thing with XK seems to be a huge operation. I wonder who's funding it. And also something I wanted to touch on too was, I mean, when you watch the episode, knowing what John L was trying to do when he tried to give Superman Prime the kryptonite, and Superman was just like, no, I don't want to take that, I'm good, because he already knew what it was doing to his dad. So if Superman would have took that kryptonite, it would have messed up his body too, you know?
Yep.
Let's see. Kevin also says, and I'm the only one who feels Kyle and Lana are definitely headed for divorce. She seems to be over him. I thought it was interesting that we didn't see a Kyle in the Bizarro world, and because Kyle and Lana never got together, Sarah was never born in this world. So that was something that was interesting. I laughed at how much knowledge Lois has about knots, meaning she has been kidnapped way too many times. And seeing alternate John was a surprise, which makes me wonder if he will be wearing the costume we saw in the photos. Side note, the show is going on a month break because of COVID issues while filming. Elizabeth Toolidge talked about it on Twitter, and that is Lois. So that's the reason why, dang, this is the second time. I mean, it happened on season 1, and then now it happened again. So.
Hey, and it's all right. Take your time.
It's all good.
Look at what they came back with.
So that's everybody's comments. Thank you guys for always commenting, and I'm sorry that we didn't respond to the comments. I mean, you know, we wasn't expecting to take this long of a break because it's cool when it's weekly. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can record these things. But thank you always for commenting on our reviews, and thank you for always joining us and giving your opinions on how you felt about the episode. So with that being said, D, let everybody know what your rating is for this week's episode and your final thoughts.
Hey, 10 costume designs, the choreographics, the drama. I mean, 10 across the board. 10 across the board. Can't wait for the next one. Banks?
Yeah, same. 10 out of 10, bro. I wish that I had 4 hands so that way I could give it a 20, man. And it was just a phenomenal episode. Superman and Lois, it always comes back with a bang. And honestly, when I was watching this, I felt like because it hadn't been on for so long, I would have been so fine if the CW is just like, hey, we're giving you a 2-hour episode. I would have been fine with all of that. Because I feel like if it was 2 hours, I feel like they could have explained a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
dude,
know,
that's like they ain't giving you no extra stuff. Not with this.
It would have been. Would you? But bro, would you sit and watch a 2-hour episode of Superman and Lois if they gave it to you?
Of course, but they wouldn't.
Now, would you watch a 2-hour episode of The Flight? Would you watch a 2-hour episode of The Flight?
Let's not. Let's just not. Hey, only on the crossovers, and I think them things was done.
Oh man. But no, yeah, let us know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. We're gonna discuss this, and then next week Trav is gonna be back with us. Trav, he had to take his helicopter and he had to fly to a volcano to help some people out.
Take it easy now.
We hope that Trav, he saved everybody and he gets rewarded for that. So D, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
That's gonna be rebellious _D23 Instagram.com. Hey, Superman, look, Anderson is down. I don't know how you get there in Bizarro World, but they need another hero over there. Where can they find one?
Hey, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks. On Twitter and Instagram, you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching our review. Make sure you check out some more reviews that we have here on the channel, along with interviews and reaction videos, podcasts with brand new episodes. The link is down below. We have new episodes every Tuesday, and then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube on Friday. Keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.